Out in a barren border region, far from any town, we follow a man named Arjun, who is driving his wife Kayal back to her parents' house. They are in the middle of a divorce. Kayal suddenly asks to end the marriage because she no longer feels comfortable living with Arjun and does not want her life to be controlled. Kayal still wants a carefree life, hanging out with friends, partying, going on trips, and coming and going as she pleases without any limits. Arjun, on the other hand, is older and wants a wife who shares his values, someone who takes care of the household, carries herself with respect, and honors her husband. Instead, Kyle cheated on him with another man. The worst part is, she openly admits it and even blames Arjun for her decision to have an affair. Even though it is clearly a betrayal of their marriage, Kyle does not feel guilty at all and treats it like something minor that should not be a big deal. With all that tension still hanging between them, Arjun keeps driving along the empty road until he almost crashes into a car that suddenly cuts in from the side. The driver, a young man named Michael, does not apologize. He flips Arjun off and drives away without a hint of regret, showing a cocky attitude that only makes the situation more heated. Later, they stop at a rest area so Arjun can refuel the car. Kyle heads into a small mini-market to buy some snacks. Inside, she accidentally runs into a married couple who say they are from the same city. The husband, a truck driver named Rakshit, and his wife, Devika, greet her warmly. Rakshit explains that he is hauling logistics through the area, and Devika is traveling with him to keep him company. Outside, while Arjun is still filling up the tank, Michael suddenly shows up again. Instead of apologizing for almost causing an accident earlier, he gets in Arjun's face and even shoves his shoulder, clearly trying to provoke a fight. Arjun chooses to act like an adult. He refuses to take the bait, ignores Michael, and quietly returns to his car to continue the journey. Not long after they leave, their trip hits another problem. Arjun's car suddenly breaks down in the middle of a wide, open stretch of road with no one around. The nearest workshop or rest area is very far away, and on top of that, the phone signal is terrible. A car eventually appears in the distance. It is Michael again, this time with his friends. Instead of helping, they throw bottles at Arjun and laugh loudly, enjoying themselves while harassing him. In the middle of that tense moment, a large truck approaches. It turns out to be Rakshit and Devika passing through the same road. After talking for a while, Kyle decides to ride with Rakshit and Devika to the next rest area. Arjun stays behind, doing everything he can to fix his car and get it running again. He had no idea this moment would change everything. This is Vida Muyarchi. After nearly an hour of struggling on the empty roadside, Arjun finally gets his car running again. He rushes straight to the next rest area, expecting to find Kayal waiting for him. But when he gets there, the situation takes a strange turn. No one at the location remembers seeing a woman who matches Kayal's description. Not a single person recalls her walking in or even passing by. That confusion quickly turns into anxiety. Arjun goes back onto the road, hoping to spot her somewhere along the way. In the distance, he sees Rakshit's truck and immediately speeds up to catch it. When he finally reaches the truck, Rakshit claims he has never seen Arjun before and has no idea who Kyle is. His behavior leaves Arjun rattled. He cannot tell if Rakshit is lying, confused, or intentionally hiding something. Luckily, a traffic officer happens to be patrolling nearby. Arjun flags him down and asks him to check the inside of the truck. After a full inspection, there is nothing to be found. No Kayal, no Devika, nothing suspicious at all. With no evidence of wrongdoing, the officer lets Rakshit continue his trip. The officer then advises Arjun to head to the nearest town and file an official report at the local police station. Arjun drives to the small town and immediately reports Kayal as missing. But the officer on duty brushes it off. He explains that the town rarely sees any serious crime, much less a kidnapping. He seems skeptical of Arjun's story, treating the situation lightly. Instead of taking the report seriously, the officer assumes this must be a domestic problem. He suggests that maybe one of them cheated, and Kayal chose to run away on her own. With no real help from the authorities and feeling dismissed, Arjun returns to the previous rest area to double-check if anyone might have seen his wife. The answer is still the same. No one knows anything. The restaurant owner even insists that he has never seen a woman matching Kyle's description. That only fuels Arjun's frustration. In his mind, it feels like everyone might be hiding something. When his anger finally slips out, the owner grabs a shotgun and points it at Arjun, warning him to leave before things get worse. After being kicked out of the restaurant for causing a scene, Arjun heads to a public phone booth by the roadside to contact the officer he met earlier. While he explains Kyle's situation over the phone, a young man named Ronnie suddenly joins the conversation. Ronnie seems a bit slow in understanding things, but he claims he saw a woman who looks just like the one Arjun is searching for. Ronnie appears harmless and sincere, so Arjun chooses to trust him. Following Ronnie's directions, Arjun drives toward a hill along Route 7, an old road that has been closed for years and barely sees any traffic. The path is quiet, filled with dust and sharp rocks. When he arrives, Arjun starts searching the area anxiously, completely unaware that he is walking straight into a trap. Without warning, Michael and his group ambush him. These are the same thugs who have been tailing him since the beginning. In the middle of the attack, Arjun is shocked to realize that Ronnie, the seemingly innocent young man who gave him the information, is actually part of the same crew. Ronnie lured him there on purpose, making sure Arjun had no way to escape. Arjun is knocked out and taken to a different location. When he wakes up, he finally comes face to face with the masterminds behind everything that has happened. Rakshit and Devika, the couple who earlier seemed friendly at the rest area, now reveal who they truly are. They are professional killers. Arjun is stunned when Rakshit explains that they were hired by his own wife, Kayal, to take his life. When Rakshit prepares to shoot him, Arjun braces himself, but the shot is intentionally missed. Rakshit is not done yet. He wants answers. He wants to understand what Arjun could have possibly done that made Kayal hire killers to get rid of him. Standing before them, Arjun refuses to believe any of it. He admits that Kayal is rebellious and has cheated before, but he insists that she could never be cruel enough to plan her husband's murder. His loyalty and disbelief even give Devika pause for a moment. Devika then reveals the full truth. Kayal did not plan this alone. Her lover, a man who wants a future with her without Arjun in the picture, is deeply involved in the plan. Even after hearing this, Arjun still clings to the hope that Kayal would not go that far. In his mind, she may have made bad choices, but she is not someone who would plot to kill another human being. Seeing Arjun's stubborn faith in his wife, Devika pushes back harder. She insists that Kayal and her lover truly did pay them to erase Arjun forever. She then lays out a brutal deal. If Arjun wants to live, he must pay double the amount Kayal gave them. If he agrees, Rakshit and Devika will gladly switch sides and eliminate Kayal and her lover instead. To them, life is nothing more than a number on a payment sheet, and switching targets is just business. The story shifts into a flashback from 10 years earlier, revealing the dark past of Rakshit and Devika. Both of them were once patients in a psychiatric facility designed for dangerous criminals. Devika had been diagnosed with an antisocial personality. She was manipulative, highly intelligent, completely without guilt, and had already killed a former roommate over a trivial issue. With no empathy at all, she was considered extremely dangerous. One day, Devika became the target of several guards who intended to assault her in a quiet hallway. Before they could act, Rakshit appeared and intervened. He himself was an extreme psychopath, someone who would not hesitate to kill. That moment became the beginning of their brutal partnership, a bond between two people who shared the same violent tendencies. Back in the present, Rakshit explains that this whole plan, the kidnapping and the attempted murder, had been prepared long before Arjun ever realized anything was wrong. Rakshit admits that he investigated Arjun's finances and discovered that Arjun had nearly $1,000 saved in his bank account. For the pair, that was more than enough to make the job worthwhile and to take it very seriously. Keeping their earlier offer, Rakshit and Devika decide to spare Arjun's life. They even offer to eliminate Kayal and her lover instead, as long as Arjun pays them double the amount he was originally worth. They refuse to take a bank transfer. They want cash. So they order Arjun to drive to a nearby small town and withdraw every cent he has. Once he hands over the money, they consider the matter closed. With no other choice and not wanting to die, Arjun agrees. When he arrives at the bank, he pauses outside, still overwhelmed by everything he has learned. He can accept that Kayal cheated again and ran off with her lover. She has done it before. But hiring killers is something he cannot wrap his head around. In 12 years of marriage, she never seemed capable of something so cruel. Trying not to think about it, Arjun walks inside and meets with the bank manager to withdraw all his savings. When the manager heads to the vault to check the cash, Arjun quietly picks up a small sharp object from the table, just in case the situation takes another turn. While he waits for the money, the story cuts to Kayal. She is being held at a secret location. Devika is there with her, using the exact same manipulation tactics she tried on Arjun. Devika tries to convince Kayal that the kidnapping was Arjun's idea. She even pushes Kayal to believe that Arjun has been cheating with her best friend and that the entire abduction is part of a plan made by Arjun and that friend. Back with Arjun, he finally receives the full amount of cash from the bank. As he steps outside, an old man nearby calls out to him and tells him to answer a ringing phone in a nearby booth. When Arjun picks it up, he is instructed to walk a full kilometer and wait for further directions. After a short walk, Michael and his group show up to take the money. They force Arjun into their vehicle and tie his hands with tape. They have no idea that Arjun hit a sharp object under his arm. Using that hidden blade, Arjun cuts himself free and immediately strikes, stabbing Michael in the shoulder. The sudden attack throws the entire vehicle into chaos. Michael loses control of the wheel, causing the car to swerve wildly and tip to one side before he manages to steady it again. But Arjun does not waste the opportunity. He unleashes a violent counterattack and takes down every member of the group until only Michael is left standing. Arjun then tapes Michael's neck to the car seat, trapping him in place. He demands to know where Kayal is, but Michael refuses to speak. So Arjun takes a drastic approach. He floors the accelerator and drives at high speed, hoping the pressure will force Michael to talk. As Arjun races down the road, a traffic patrol car appears. Arjun brakes, steps out, and unknowingly makes a fatal mistake. He is still holding the weapon he took earlier, and the officer assumes he is being threatened. The officer orders Arjun to get on the ground. At that exact moment, Michael manages to free himself, grabs a hidden backup gun, and shoots the officer without hesitation. He then turns his gun toward Arjun, who is forced to dive off the road to avoid getting shot. Arjun survives and watches Michael drive off with the money. Once the gunfire is over, Arjun returns to check on the fallen officer. After confirming that the officer has died, Arjun takes his patrol car and heads back toward the town. Meanwhile, at the group's hideout, Michael finally returns and hands the cash over to Rakshit. With the money secured, Rakshit orders everyone to pack up, prepare to leave, and burn every trace of evidence behind them. Arjun keeps searching the area, still unsure where Michael has gone. His search stops when he spots Vijay, the old man who earlier told him to answer the phone at the booth. In that moment, Arjun realizes Vijay is part of Rakshit's crew. Without hesitating, he follows him. Vijay lives far from the nearest neighborhood. He shares the house with his elderly mother, along with a young woman and a boy who work there as household help. The bruises on their faces say everything. Vijay is the type of man who has no problem using violence, and his mother, too frail to intervene, simply allows it to happen. After taking his mother to her room, Vijay is shocked to find Arjun already inside the house. Arjun overpowers him with ease. While Arjun is questioning him, Vijay's mother suddenly walks in with a shotgun. Her eyesight is poor, and she accidentally shoots her own son in the leg. Her second shot ricochets and hits her in the head, killing her instantly. Before Arjun can even process what just happened, an arrow strikes him from behind. Two of Rakshit's men have arrived to help Vijay. As they focus on their attack, the young boy secretly slips a knife into Arjun's hand so he can defend himself. A violent fight breaks out. Arjun pushes through the pain and manages to take down both attackers. With no way out and completely cornered, Vijay and his remaining allies surrender. They finally reveal Kyle's location, telling Arjun she is being held inside an old factory not far from there. Arjun arms himself with a bow and a shotgun he took from the house, then heads straight for the factory, which serves as Rakshit and Devika's hidden base. As soon as he arrives, he launches a fierce assault and wipes out the entire group, including Ronnie. He then moves deeper inside the building to confront Michael, who is waiting for him. The two clash in a brutal fight. Even though Arjun is much older, he matches Michael's strength and fights with surprising skill. Under pressure, Michael grabs anything he can find, including a power grinder. Devika appears to help him, but things turn against Michael when he slips, and the grinder ends up fatally injuring him. Devika tries to catch Arjun off guard from behind by suffocating him with a cloth. Arjun struggles and pushes back, causing her to fall into a pit of acid. She dies instantly. Seeing the chaos, Rakshit charges at Arjun. The final fight between them is intense and unforgiving. During the struggle, a hook from a hanging chain pierces Rakshit's back, giving Arjun the upper hand. Arjun drags him toward a large grinding machine and demands to know where Kayal is. But Rakshit makes a shocking choice. Instead of negotiating or running, he throws himself into the machine, destroying his own body and every clue Arjun could use to find Kayal. Even without those answers, Arjun keeps searching the factory and eventually finds Kayal tied up and locked inside the basement. Not long after, the police arrive, arrest the remaining criminals, and secure the location. With Kayal finally safe, Arjun brings her back to her parents' house just like he intended from the very beginning. In that moment, Kayal realizes the truth. Despite their divorce and all their problems, Arjun risked everything to save her. So the moral of the story is, maybe don't cheat on your husband, don't hire discount assassins, And definitely don't trust random strangers at gas stations, because apparently everyone out here is working part-time as a kidnapper.